Have you ever wondered why your plants might be flourishing in one bed or withering in the other? This may just be because of pH levels. They might just be the key to growing a successful garden fast. Kia ora, my name is Izzy, and my science fair is on pH levels in soil and how does it affect growth. In this science fair, I planted plants in different pH levels of soil and compared the results against each other. So, let's begin. So firstly, what are pH levels? pH levels are simply the measure of how acidic or alkali something is. If something is 7 pH level, that means it is neutral, neither acidic nor alkali. If something is 1 pH level, that means it is incredibly acidic, like gastric acid, aka stomach acid. Or lemons, which have the pH level of 2. On the alkali side, bleach has the pH of 12, and baking soda has the pH of 9. Basically, anything above 9 or under 2 is considered dangerous to humans and most living creatures. So, to begin the experiment, I went to a plant nursery to pick up some plants. I didn't specifically want a NIWA plant, but a hardy, fast-growing native. I researched the options available and, ended up getting the NIWA plant. Once the plants were back in my house, I started the planting. My hypothesis was the plants would grow best in the pH level of 6.5 to 5.5. As mentioned in my slides, my reasoning was most plants like a slightly acidic pH level. So technically, this should be the same for the NIWA plant, right? Well, actually, not really. The NIWA plant seemed to really like 7 pH level, as it did best in the height measure of growth, which for me I find is the most important measure of growth, as it is the main factor of growth. It also did well in 6 pH level, which is a slightly acidic pH level, and it did well in stem size and longest leaf. So overall, I'd say 7 and 6 pH levels are pretty tied for which one is the best. During my experiment, thanks to nature, I encountered a few variables that may or may not have changed the result of the experiment. On almost all of the plants, there were bugs, causing little holes in the leaves, and some of the leaves were falling off. I cannot be certain this was the bugs, as it might have just been the acidity of the soil in the low pH levels, since it especially happened in those pH levels. Overall, I think my experiment really well, and was about as fair as I could get it. I definitely learned lots from this experience, and I hope that you learned something new today about pH levels. Thanks again for looking at my science fair.